So welcome to JUMA'S Academy, and today I'll be taking Math 1120 and 1100, and we'll be looking at a topic known as exponential and logarithmic functions. So in this video, we are going to talk about, we're just going to be solving questions which are from a tutorial sheet. That is tutorial sheet number 5 for Math 1120. We are going to solve those questions together because just like always, Math 1120, Math 1100, just the same. Okay, my name is Tuta Juma, or you can call me Juma Piri. Okay, that's my full name. So, the first question. So, question 1 says that given the exponential function f of x being equal to 1 over 9 to the power x, evaluate each of the following. Okay, so the first one, there is a, which is f of negative what? F of negative 3. Okay, just like every other function, you know that when you have, they've given us the equation, which is, so our function equation is, or our function or our equation, okay, so our function is f of x is equal to 1 over 9. Okay, so our function is 1 over 9 to the power x. Okay, that is our function. Then now they're asking us to find f of what? F of negative 3. So f of negative 3, it is just replacing, because they've replaced here where there was x, they've replaced it with negative 3, meaning that even in this function where there was x, we're going to put what? Negative 3. So it is going to be f of negative 3 is equal to 1 over 9. Okay, 1 over 9 to the power negative 3. Okay, 1 over 9 to the power negative 3. Then we know that this is the same as saying 1 to the power negative 3 over 9 to the power negative what? Negative 3. Then we know that for us to change this one to a positive function, to a positive power, to a positive exponent, we know that the rule that if we have a base a to the power negative 1, for us to convert it to positive, we say 1 over a to the power what? To the power 1. So even here we can do the same thing. We have, so since these are going to be fractions, so for us to solve it easily, we're going to say it is equal to 1 to the power negative 3. Okay, then we're going to change the over, it will become division, divide 9 to the power negative what? Negative 3. As a result, we are going to have, these are going to change to positive powers, which is going to be 1 over 1. Okay, 1 over 1 to the power 3. The one which is down now is the one which has the 3. So it's going to be 1 over 1 to the power 3. Then after that, it is going to be divided by 9. Oh, sorry. So it's going to be divided by 1 over 9 to the power 3. Okay. Then after that, this is just the same as we know that 9 times 9, that is 81, times 9, that will give us, when you do your calculations, 81 times 9, that will be equal to 700 and what? 29. Okay, so you're going to have, the result is going to be equal to, it's going to be equal to 1 to the power 3, it is 1, then divided by 1 over 9. 9 to the power 3, it is 9 times 9 times 9, which is what? Which is just going to be equal to 700 and what? And 29. Okay, if that's the case, we know that if you have a division, we're just going to say 1 over 1 times 1 times. So when we change this to multiplication, this changes, it goes up, the 1 comes down. We're going to have 729, okay, being divided by 1. As a result, 1 times 729, that will give me 729. Okay, so 729 over 1 times 1, that is 1. 1 into 721, that will give me my final answer to be equal to 729. Okay, then there you solved the first question. So this is how you solve A. Or the others can just say, okay, this is how you solve it. But there are different ways you can solve the question, but this is the easiest way I can explain it. Then you go to B. Okay, our B here is, so for B, we have this is a function f of x, which we've written here, is equals to, open brackets, 1 over 9 to the power x. Okay, so here for us to solve this one, we just say, since they've said it's f of what? F of half. Okay, f of half is equal to, the function is 1 over 9. Then where there was x, since here in the brackets we had x, but we've replaced it with half, even here we are going to do the same thing. Okay, we're going to put half as the power in the place of what? Of x. So when you do that, we know that if you have a fraction power, the one which is below, at the bottom here, the denominator 2, which is 2, it becomes a root, then the one which is on top becomes a power. So we're just going to distribute this power to 1 and 9, and meaning that we are going to say this one, since this one is it is the root, okay, it is going to be equal to f of half. F of half is equal to, this is just the same as saying the square root, okay, of 1 on top, because we're just going to distribute it. Then so I'm just going to say, this is saying, because I'm distributing, so let me just first start by distributing first of all, before so I'm just going to say 1 to the power half, okay, over 9 to the power half. Okay, when that's the case, I know that I'm going to have f of half, okay, being equal to, then I know this is going to be the square root of what? Of 1 to the power 1 over the square root of 9, okay, because the one at the bottom becomes the root, the square root of 9 to the power 1. As a result, I'm going to have an answer which is 1 over 3. Okay, that is for B. Now, for C, it is f of 0. Okay, C is just f of 0, and I know that C, it is f of 0, so it's just the same as saying f of 0, okay, f of 0 is equal to 1 over 9, okay, to the power, where those x have replaced with what? With 0. As a result, I'm going to know that any number raised to power 0. So this one, I can just say, because this is in brackets, so this is just the same as one number. So any number raised to power 0, it is 1. Or if you want to show your working, you can just say, or you just say f of 0, okay, f of 0 is equal to 1 to the power 0, okay, over 9 to the power 0. When you do that, it is going to give you 1 over 1. As a result, it will give you 1 as the final answer. Okay, so you can solve it like this or like this. Then for D, it was saying that it is f of 2, okay, f of 2. So if it is f of 2, what you're just supposed to do is that where those x again you replace with a 2, it is going to give you 1 over 9 to the power 2, okay. You do the same thing, you distribute the 2 to the numbers. As a result, it's going to be f of 2, okay, is equal to, this is 1 to the power 2, then over 9 to the power 2. You close the brackets. As a result, you're going to have f of 2 to be equal to, this will be 1, then 9 to the power 2, that is 81. Okay, so this will be your final answer, and we are done with our question 1.